Hey everyone, welcome to the Clips channel. Did you know this isn't our main channel? Yeah, you should subscribe over and find our main videos and our streams as well. We also have a podcast that you can find wherever podcasts can be found, so explore the internet. See you there.
It's time to grind through the end of the week. It's the Grinding Gear podcast, everybody. Hi, I'm Garrett. He's Kyle.
Hello.
You're not here for us. We're here today with a special, much requested guest. I hear he's been down a similar road as I have, going from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy XIV, and maybe even a more similar road that both Kyle and I have been, because I hear there's a chance of some HOTS rain on today's program. But he also stuck with WoW even longer than I did. You should go catch a stream over twitch.tv/EndyD20. Endy! Welcome to the Grinding Gear podcast, dude.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you? Good morning. It's good evening where I'm at.
Yeah,
but
good evening.
Morning
Yeah,
to you guys. Yeah. We've maybe played some games that we've each played. Yeah. Some Heroes of the Storm. Some World of Warcraft.
We are friends that just haven't met yet.
Yeah, I fully agree. Kyle, do you mind just giving us a minute to have a moment? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant all three of us.
No, I'm only kidding. Kyle, get in here. Get in here. Group hug, guys. Come on.
No, I left WoW a long time ago. I was the bad influence on Garrett. It's okay. You two take your time.
You took your time.
I love Dark Knight in Final Fantasy XIV because I think for me to me there's a lot of similarities with Blood Death Knight over in World of Warcraft, but I think it's just more fun in basically like every way. And Blackest Night, I think, is the single most fun mitigation skill I have ever experienced in an MMO playing a tank. It is so much fun. So
I am fully with you on that. Dark Knight, Dragoon, and Reaper are my favorite jobs in the game. And
Oh, what, Kyle? Sorry, it's Edgelord podcast now.
I'm just healer. I'm just healer, man. It's cool. You guys freak me out when you flip. It's okay. I'm there for you.
Sorry, Kyle.
Hell yeah.
But no, hitting that mitigation as a tank buster comes in, it just feels great. Like I like slow motion, just dive onto my key on the keyboard. I'm like, and that's gonna deal no damage at all, and it feels fantastic. So yeah, no, I'm with you, because Death Knight was my class back in WoW. Death Knight and Rogue were my like go-tos, and much like yourself, I think for me, when I was playing through Wrath of the Lich King, I was experiencing, at the time I thought I was experiencing, the pinnacle of MMO storytelling, when Tyrannus Menethil ushers Arthas into the afterlife atop Icecrown Citadel. I thought, this is it. It's never going to get better than this. No MMO will come close to this moment. As a tear rolled down my face, I thought, this is it. And here we are, 15 years later. And I mean, if you couldn't tell by the clip which you both lovingly played earlier, oh, we're being made to feel again. I don't want to feel. No, I'm not ready to feel again. The tears have finally flown, and yeah, it puts a lot of things into perspective. The emotions I've felt over the course of playing this wonderful game.
So if that was 2 years ago, and pardon my stream archaeology on you, I think you started back in January, right? So you had like a year MMO free in there?
Yeah. So I started 14, I believe, end of June 2022. And it had probably been about 8 months. Yeah. 8 months between picking up 14 and dropping WoW. And I didn't really want to get into another MMO, because I think when I gave up on WoW, I felt like I was at a point in my life where an MMO just didn't fit anymore. My wife and I just moved into our first home. We knew that in the future we were going to be expecting our first child, which is now on the way. I'll have you guys know. Next February.
Nice.
So I knew all of these puzzle pieces were slowly going to start falling into place, and I thought, I can't commit to a raid schedule. I can't commit to, borrowed power grinds like we've had in BFA and Legion. I don't know what's in Dragonflight. I've been pretty cold turkey on touching Dragonflight information. I thought, no, MMOs don't have a home in my life anymore. And it was early 2022. A lot of people in my chat had been playing 14 and had done for years, and they said, Endy, give it a go. I think you'll like it. I'm like, no, I'm not ready for another MMO, guys. Not yet. Give me some time. I need a break. Okay. And they said, no, it's different. There's story. And I thought, well, okay. Story. All right. I'll give it a shot. And I'd just recently been dipping my toes into the world of Final Fantasy as a whole, because I'd never played them growing up. They'd sort of passed me by. So it was in 2020 I played my first Final Fantasy game, and that was the remake of 7, because I'm a big Souls fan. So I thought, oh, this kind of looks like action combat that I'd enjoy. And I did. I thought it was pretty good. Story's also not too bad as well. I'll check out the original. Fell in love with 7. Played to the original, so I knew what I was getting into with Final Fantasy. Exquisite storytelling with fantastic music and characters that I'd love. And I thought, sure, I'll give it a go. And it wasn't until don't get me wrong, I loved A Realm Reborn actually, and I do think it gets a little bit too much hate for what it was. But it wasn't until the end of 2.0 and the cutscenes that play just before the credits. So it's like A Realm Reborn, and then you get the little cutscenes that play. They're a little tease of what's to come. And I said, guys, these are the Ascians. What? They're sticking around? They're like, yeah, the story continues on. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is a new sensation for me. It's like coming from WoW, you know, we go into the Dark Portal, we defeat Illidan, and now we're on a boat and we're going north. Oh, and Deathwings emerged, and there's pandas, and it's like nothing connects, and then A Realm Reborn into Heavensward, it's like, yeah, actually, if you be paying attention, you're going to be rewarded for it. And it's at that moment I thought, okay, you've got me, I'm in. And from that moment forth, I'm taking notes and I'm like rewatching my own streams back. And I'm like, okay, so this character said this character said that. Oh, that might come up later. I'll make a note of that too. And it just completely grabbed my attention in a way that no game really ever has. And having like so many people in chat say, oh, you're in for a treat. Like, this is the tip of the iceberg, buddy. It gets real good. I'm like, yeah, I bet it does. Yeah, I bet it does. We'll see about that. And lo and behold, it got pretty good. It got real good. So I'm wondering if you both had a very similar experience, because I know you started streaming it during Heavensward. Is that because you'd realized that there was a bit of magic in the air with the game and you thought, oh, this is a journey we'd like to share?
A little. It was just we were just building the plane while we flew it, to be completely honest. I've been trying to convince Kyle to try video first content for a while. We come from the land of podcasting. Kyle used to solo stream Here's the Storm. That was I've been wanting to do edited content on YouTube for a long time, and I like working with Kyle, and I've been trying to convince him to do something that was edited content on YouTube. And for roughly 2 years, he'd been trying to get me to play Final Fantasy XIV. To his credit, recommended it long before it was, I would say, the hip thing to recommend to people who were mad about World of Warcraft. And I was certainly mad about World of Warcraft. But he mentioned it before I was kind of off the Shadowlands train.
Happens.
And so, yeah, we were experimenting with like a gaming news format where we would kind of cover like one story a week, whatever the big story of the week was, we'd make a video about it. And one week, Kyle's like, want to do something Final Fantasy XIV related because there's a lot of people from World of Warcraft jumping ship heading over there. And there was a recent interview with Yoshi P. I don't even remember what the hell it was about at this point. All I know is we were like, I don't know. I'll make a thumbnail that says Yoshi P shots fired. That sounds fun. That like I need a way to package it, and then I can get invested, and I can run away with like how are we making good on that thumbnail? I like to not lie in our headlines. And so like if Kyle is having trouble selling me on something, if he can come up with a package, he can usually win selling me on something.
Gotcha.
Or make me think I thought of the way to package it. I like to think he manipulates me sometimes.
Is this true, Kyle?
Oh, absolutely. You see my D&D books behind me? I use my manipulation for good. It's always for good.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah. So we did that, and then I enjoyed watching interviews with Yoshi P. I was like, I like the cut of this man's jib. He seems like a fun person, and I like I just like this attitude. And I was like, okay, maybe I should give 14 another try. Because I'd previously tried 14 and I fell off. I didn't like all the load screens. And I started in Gridania, which I have a lot of Gridania shade in my heart, and it's well documented.
It was going well. Our little budding relationship. I love Gridania. I started there as a Lancer. No, I'm only joking. I don't mind it. It's I do have a fond memory of starting there, though. I think because it was reminiscent of where I started Warcraft as a Night Elf. The trees. It was my home.
I'm the other way. I started as a Night Elf, and I'm like, this is the most boring looking forest I've ever been in. It's like
oh goodness.
It's
I
like
was a troll, so I had Durotar, man. I could look at anything.
Oh yeah,
anything would be more thrilling than that.
I mean, I like the red color palette, but that's about it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
about
you're
all I
gonna
can
get
say
over that
about
pretty
Durotar.
fast. Ooh, a thunder lizard in a canyon. This is a thrill.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably could have gotten past the kind of what I see as a pretty standard forest if the city was a little more. The city's so flat, and when I restarted, I did Limsa first, and I was like, holy shit, the city's amazing. Also, everyone there is horny, but which was amusing and let me kind of know about the other side of the Final Fantasy XIV community.
Yeah,
there was like a bard in Gridania, and I was like, I thought people were playing this game, so. There were a lot of things that kind of turned me off the first time I played. So anyway, yeah, I'm like, fine, I'll give it another shot. And then Kyle's like, what if we made some videos about our playthrough? And I'm like, no one gives a shit about other people playing the story mode of a video game. Oh boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started uploading Realm Reborn videos, and yeah, I think to a certain degree we weren't streaming because I didn't think I was going to stick with it. Like that's my character's name is Tuna No Crust, which is a really dumb Fast and the Furious reference. That's because I didn't think I was going to care. Now I love my character and I will never rename him. But like the whole thing was kind of like a throwaway, like whatever. I'm just going to jump in, disrespect the game, and see if I enjoy it. And yeah, I don't know. I did start enjoying it. I think Realm Reborn is difficult to sell to a lot of people. A lot of my friends, I feel like, don't have the patience for anything that's a slow start. And if you're that type of person, Realm Reborn is going to be tough. But I'm with you. I don't think Realm Reborn is inherently bad, but I do think it is objectively slow. And so if you're the type of person that doesn't like a slow burn, that it's going to be tough to get through.
Well, work me through your journey, Endy, because were you streaming World of Warcraft? Were you already streaming?
I was streaming, yeah. Like the whole streaming thing, I'd kind of fallen into it accidentally because I'm a videographer by trade, and I was doing a lot of videographer stuff right back in 2019, and I realized I'm quite lonely. You know, I'm at home all the time editing video, and how can I get out there and socialize and meet people who play games that I play? I'll stream some games. So 2019, streaming games, having a good time. 2020, it's looking really good for my business, and then pandemic hits, and it's like, oh, okay, well, still got Twitch to fall back on, and by the end of the year, I was a Twitch partner, very fortunately, just streaming games that I enjoyed. And I never wanted to stream an MMO, because for me, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but they're home in a way. They're very cozy and like comfortable for me. And I like to be able to just sort of sink into my chair in the evening with a coffee and just like run around Dalaran like a million times. That's what we all did, right?
I get
when you
that.
couldn't find anything else to do.
Yeah.
Or go and count the time on
I remember when I learned how to turn my flying mount upside down and do
yeah. And then you'd stand somewhere near like a Hearthstone area. So people go, hey, why is your mount upside down? And then you get the joy of going, well, can't tell you.
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior, page up and page down?
And then you watch as other people slowly begin to spin. Yeah, no, I got you. But no, I that's the reason I never thought I'd play an MMO, is because they were just a game that I could relax with.
Totally.
And I didn't want to conflate relaxation with job, because there is definitely like a fine line there between a game that you can play for relaxation, maybe that's Cyberpunk to the both of you at the minute, where you can just immerse yourself in Night City, and a game that I want to play in front of an audience.
You need that U space, like
100%.
I would never
100%.
ever want to play. I love Darkest Dungeon, one of my favorite games of all time. I don't want anybody ever saying, "Oh, that run, that's unoptimized." Like that'd be it. That'd be the end. I can handle it in like Dark Souls, because that's the That's what you do, is you say everyone else does cheese but you. That is how it goes.
Yeah, that's like Civ or any type of park builder for me. Like I can't. I wouldn't want, unless people want to watch me not talk, sit in a robe and listen to music that would get the video demonetized. I don't want to stream that.
You're really undercharging for ice cream there, Garrett. Okay, so no MMO. So what were you streaming?
Just a bit of everything, to be honest. A lot of story-driven experiences, which is why I think people recommended 14 to me. I found that playing through a narrative game with like a really solid story sort of invited good conversation in chats, and allowing people to sort of experience these games again through fresh eyes, I think is a big sell to a lot of people. And I never did it with like a business mind to it. I just thought, well, people enjoy it, I'll keep doing them. So I played through the original FF games, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 is my favorite. I highly recommend it. Fantastic game. And I think that was what convinced me to then give 14 a go, was that people were saying, oh, it's an MMO, but it's an RPG first. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting way of looking at it. Okay, I'll give it a go. And I had actually played it before, like a couple years prior to that, but I'd skipped every bit of cutscene up until the end of A Realm Reborn. And I thought, why am I somewhere that's full of snow now? And I never picked it up again. I think I went and like lived in the Gold Saucer, and then I just never played that account again. So I had no idea what was going on in the story by the time I got around to playing it again. And yeah, while I can probably relate to your friends, Garrett, that don't enjoy the slow start, because that's what put me off originally about 14, was that I was waiting for like the big explosive thing to happen that was going to grab my attention. And it's very much a slow burn to get to that point. But looking back at it with hindsight now, like there's so much world building, and they do such a great job at laying the foundation of the world that I can't help but not look back on A Realm Reborn now with absolute fondness. Especially now that the slow parts are long behind me and I don't have to remind myself of how long it took me to finally fight Titan after collecting all that wine and cheese for the party they wanted.
Oh, I get that. And I think of the crates, like with the Ilberd stuff. I was just I am so bored.
Oh, Ivy, the Ivy storyline in the patches there?
Was it the Ivy? I thought it was the Crystal Braves, when you start to notice, when you start to piece together that there's something not on the up and up happening with the Crystal Braves. You're like just going around clicking on crates, and I was just like, oh boy, this is a new level
this is the one. Yeah.
So what was that experience like? Because you started streaming like your load up of Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. I'd originally floated it as like, guys, I'm going to do it every Friday. So I'd kind of, inadvertently never watched you guys before. I don't know if you were actually uploading the videos at the time, but I was like, I'll do it every Friday, because I saw it as like a little treat at the end of the week to dip into an MMO. And then I streamed it that Friday. Monday came around, and I sat here ready to play. I think I was doing like a Pokemon Nuzlocke thing, and I thought, I don't want to do this. I want to play more Final Fantasy 14, I think. So I booted it up, and the rest is history. I kept playing it every day for the past year, and it was just a wild adventure. And when people said, oh, it gets better, you think to yourself, yeah, I bet it does, bucko. Lo and behold, it consistently kept getting better. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure that you're both aware, maybe someone's mentioned it in your Discord about my corkboarding shenanigans. That was a method through which I was trying to sort of show people my love of the game by creating these theory boards, so people who are new to the stream can go, he is paying attention. Interesting.
Oh, so it wasn't a real corkboard, it was those pre-written like prediction descriptions you would show.
Sort of. I think I've set this up correctly. So if I move here, this is an example.
Okay, so it's a graphic.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a graphic, yes. So if I slightly enlarge it, There it is. It's essentially a corkboard, and I would put pictures on them, and then attach notes to the pictures, and then I'd expand it out, so eventually it would have loads of notes and theories of where I think the story's going to go.
Nice.
I don't want to show any other ones because I've got a lot of Shadowbringers and Endwalker theory cards, but I don't want to impact your own theory crafting, so I don't want to show them off. But it's essentially those boards, little pictures of certain plot points, and then like little text boxes that would be like, I think this is going to happen.
That's a good idea.
And that was it.
Yeah,
because a lot of people would join in and say, oh, how are you finding the game? And being able to go, well, here's my thoughts in pictures. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's my theories for what the future holds. And I think that immediately tells people, this guy likes the game. He's paying attention. I can gel with this. And in a way, I originally made it because it was a meme. The Charlie Day, like with his corkboard behind him with all the red string. That's why I did it, because I thought, oh, it's a bit of fun. People will laugh. But it ended up becoming something which I used as a bit of a encyclopedia for myself, because I'd be like, who was that guy from the end of A Realm Reborn? Let me just go look through my corkboard cards, and I'd find it, and I'd be like, oh yeah, he said that, and oh, that ties into what Orshafan said. Interesting. And then that's how the theories would slowly develop.
We go digging back through our past. Like, I will record. Kyle runs the stream, so it's got our video and notifications and stuff. And then I record cutscenes on my end with just the game, like nothing, only getting game audio and only getting the game as a visual. There's nothing obscuring it, and so that's how we get essentially the B-roll for the videos that we make. And I'm doing that live while we're streaming. I'm running like OBS in the background but doing it locally instead of streaming. And so we'll go through. We have terabytes of Final Fantasy XIV clips on a shared Dropbox that we just dive into, and it's organized by patch and expansion.
Nice.
So we'll be like, oh, when did Minfilia give us the PowerPoint presentation on what happens when you die? And we've gone back to that damn well seven times.
That's a really good idea, because that's something we get to avoid with what we do, making the videos, but it's also something that can butt heads with the live stream, because we'll be sitting there just, like smiling, enjoy. You're joining us for a live filming of our eventual video. And we'll just like smile through like Emmett Snap or something like that. And we're just sitting there like, having a great time. And people are like, they didn't see it. They didn't comment. So, well, no, we're going to do a video later where we'll comment, but this is just enjoying the game. But you do have to, to have that moment to be like, I have recognized that the character said the thing in the room, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
We've been doing a little more live cooking as a result of that.
Yeah.
It's the hard thing about doing it live is if you make one mistake, like if you incorrectly remember a line of dialogue, you're going to have like 50 people like, well, actually, it wasn't them. It was this fella. And it can get a bit overwhelming, which is why I like to do it in my own time, because then I get to sort of show them all off. And then that's sort of the end of the conversation without necessarily allowing spoilers potentially to slip through the cracks. I did just scan through my little corkboard folder, and I have found one which is dating back to Stormblood, of a theory for Shadowbringers, which I'll show off.
Share away,
Move over here.
Let's see this.
So this is a theory from back in A Realm Reborn, when we leave Grahar and the Crystal Tower. He says, the tower may only be used once men rival Allagans in knowledge. I will slumber until then to greet those with the means to open the gates. Then I will guide them, and thus will the tower shine forth as a beacon of hope, as it was meant to be. It is the only way to make the wishes of the ancients come true. And again, this is way before we get any of the patch quests in Stormblood, but I thought, I'm assuming the gates will allow us to hop between reflections of the source. I also assume the ancients he mentions are the Allagans of old, who maybe knew about the source and its many reflections. And obviously, this is way before we know we can do that. And it's the one, like my biggest guess, my biggest theory win, as it were. But I think that made people go, this guy is really paying attention to the game.
Nice.
Because when we eventually then, use the Crystal Tower and we open the gate and off we go, people were like, damn, you called that, back in like Heavensward Stormblood era. And I'm like, did I? Like, I'm confused. I'm like, did I? I don't remember saying that. And then they go, it's here in the VOD. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did. Okay, cool. But for every one I get right, I get like another 10 wrong. So, it's sort of throwing loads of darts at the board, and maybe one will land in a bullseye. But I think as time went on and realizing that paying attention to little contextual clues like that rewards you, that's when I really went a bit overboard with it and would, take my time to go, okay, X person said this, Y person said that. Will it come together in some way? It was a lot of work, but I knew that I was experiencing a really special game, and I kind of wanted to do it justice because I knew there was a lot of people who were, again, experiencing the game experiencing the game fresh through my eyes for my first time. And I wanted to do them justice in my own playthrough by committing myself to it. And yeah, I'd love to show the rest of my cork boards, but some of them do get on the Endwalker stuff, and I don't want to muddy the waters for your own theory crafting. Speaking of theories, though, somebody in my chat earlier said something about Xenos eating a moon. And I mean, I just want to go into that a little bit, if you don't mind, and how this came about. Because what in the game did you read that made you go, I know what you're going to eat, Mr. Xenos? And it's that celestial object up there.
Kyle was under the influence of a controlled substance, and that controlled substance is called Jesse Cox at the time.
I see. Okay, understood.
Let's do it. It's hot and salty. I'd ask Fred T.
You know what? I'm gonna open the BattleNet launcher for the first time in months.
Let's do it
and give it an install.
Kyle's gonna come back and we'll be like, "Get in, dude. Let's go."
We're trying to summon the Raven Queen.
We're all
come
set.
Back to you on that.
Let's lock in.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Let's do it.
Oh, here we go. We're in.
Oh my God, we got
look
a
at
tank
this
and a healer.
What? That's a
we
proper
got a comp.
This is bizarre. Wow.
What's happening? God of Terror
Look
as
at
well.
all the, yeah, brutal.
Just classic up in here.
Okay, let's have a look here. I've not played in a while. Let's do, so if you're on Vala, we've got an ETC. All right, I will go this comp.
Oh, they have a Diablo for me to farm on too. This is gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a bit of a throwdown, but you know, I got hope in our skills.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Go. All right, there's gonna be a thing now. Every time we have a guest, they have to play a game of Heroes of the Afterwards. It's required. You want to come on the podcast? You gotta install Heroes of the Storm. We're gonna slowly resurrect this game.
One person at a time.
Nice.
Good start.
It's begun.
Easy.
All right, I'm off to landing. Bye, everybody.
Oh shoot, I'm dead.
Nice. What'd you play? What was your main?
Oh, the save from Endy.
I got you, buddy. I got you.
Yeah, no, we're quick match Andys. We play 1 to 2 games a week, Kyle and me. It's a little off-stream bonding session that we do.
Oh, big throw again. Into the Diablo. Come on up here, Garrett.
Win streak.
Yeah.
You don't need me.
You're right. We don't. Apparently.
I'll finish that throw though.
Nice.
Very nice.
WTF is this, Anna? This is the greatest MOBA ever made.
Yep.
On the topic of getting, each other to do different things, Eureka, get on it, boys.
Oh yeah, I've heard you're a big Eureka fan.
You should get on Bojo. I'm told.
I've done a little bit.
We were told to sell you on Bojo. Well, we've done a little Eureka.
Eureka just reminds me. Did you play a lot of Alterac Valley back in Vanilla WoW?
God, yes.
It's that. Like you join and you just know everyone that's in there, and it just feels great. Like there's a proper community.
I want to know right now with can someone go over to Twitch? We have our current viewers. Are we the most viewed Heroes of the Storm stream in the world right now? That's what I want to know.
No, there's tons of Heroes of the Storm streamers still going every day.
But right now, are we the biggest one? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. We might be up against a fan
I know it's getting more views than Diablo 4 right now, but
brutal. But
no, it's true. Have you seen that? That's been a big thing on Twitter lately. Is people posting screenshots.
Oh my god.
Hots with more views than D4.
Oh, this is gonna be a good. This is gonna be a good. Nice.
Oh, Very
Feels
nice.
good. You're kind of wrecking.
Yeah, it's going okay at the moment.
Okay, top is.
Yeah, we're totally getting a keep. Holy
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
This is great. All right.
Yeah, that isn't going to do anything. In fact, did Thrall just get... No, he didn't get hit.
No. If you got stuck in the triangle. Are we just delivering core damage? Is that's a little rich for my blood.
We do have Abathur manning all the lanes, but yeah, here comes a Murky.
Yeah, I've been keeping him pushed. You're good.
All right, there goes ETC. We're out of here.
Time to skedaddle.
Yep.
Here they come.
2 levels up.
ETC's gone in.
Oh, I mean, ooh, oh, okay. I mean, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Kel'Thuzad. Oh, I've been knocked out of the.
Nice.
This is going to be a big cleanup.
Nice, good job.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go push top.
Yeah, Diablo's going to come right back, but they'll be down.
All the souls are gone, so
And they got to clear.
farmable. And we're still 2 levels up. We have maintained this 2-level lead basically nonstop since it started.
I can work us in, but that's too much work. Might as well just... Oh, Abba's on the core bottom. Let's take their camp.
I'm good, don't worry. If they don't come back, they will pay the price. Okay.
Seed in the bottom. Oh, yeah, I think we just... I'll push in mid a little bit for the stacks, but let's go get that seed.
Let's go get banned for smurfing.
They don't have anyone hired to ban you. You're fine.
There's no one working in Mirrors of the Storm.
There's this one guy in the office, and he's like, I don't know why I'm here.
Adam is way too busy with D4.
They did do that. They did do that bug fix. I heard it introduced a lot of new bugs, though. So that was...
Oh, did it?
That was a little sad to hear.
Fantastic.
Oh, well. Oh, no. Nope. That wasn't it. I don't want to choke versus Diablo.
No. You don't want to get slammed into a wall?
Nah, I'd rather not.
How do you feel about shoulder checks?
A big pass on that one. Oh,
Big
ooh,
pass.
here we go.
Here we go.
There
We got him. We got him. Oh, beautiful play.
That was a nasty stun chain right there.
Oh, into Kel'Thuzad. This is gonna be it. We win.
Yep. Game over. Let's just target core and win.
Oh, ETC, you monster.
We could kill Thrall again. You know.
I mean, if he gives us
We
the
need to
chance.
think bigger.
There we
Very
go.
nice.
Grab something undefeated in the EU, Garrett.
I'm counting that towards our win streak.
You're an EU champion.
That's our 7th win in a row on you on Nazebo and me on Vala.
MVP.
I'm up. Where's Abbott? Oh, Abbott, you didn't make the board. I disagree with
No!
that. That was some phenomenal
Yeah.
Abbott play.
This is you know, the life of an Abathur
Phenomenal.
player.
Absolutely
Unthanked.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happens all
Great. Well, that was euphoric.
the time. That's one way to put it.
Thanks for doing that with us, man. That was fun.
Hey, my pleasure. That was great because again, I've not played it in so long, and I love this game. So.